really the major problem in this country today is the fascism in our streets. The attacks on American citizens by masked hoodlums. If you were attacked by a masked person, you might think you were being kidnapped. You'd be justified in shooting the person to protect yourself.
Let's talk about what's happening in the United States. Donald Trump is facing massive issues at home, and of course he's also weighing up whether or not to strike Iran or not. I want to get your thoughts on both issues. Let's start with what's happening domestically. Trump announced over the weekend that the government will not be assisting blue cities with ongoing anti-ICE riots unless help is requested, adding that he's instructed ICE agents to be very forceful in the protection of federal property. Adam, you covered the BLM riots, and you've covered US politics for some time now. Looking at what's happening in America right now, there are plenty of reports that the protests that we've been seeing in recent weeks are not exactly organic. What's your read on where this is at the moment and what we're likely to see unfold?
Well, I think the first point to make is the US is completely riddled with people who should not be there legally. That's true. 5 million, 10 million, no one really knows the number because it's hard to track. And Donald Trump was elected on a platform to remove a very large swathe of those people, a small proportion of whom are actually criminals. They do cause damage, we know that. And they have very vigorously tried to enforce that policy. And it's hard. People hide, it's hard to know who's who, and you've seen in Minnesota, the riots, the 2 accidental shootings, and that was a very bad look, I think. You can argue about whose fault it was, but at the end of the day, 2 people were shot by federal agents. It's not a good look for the federal government. And I think after the second one happened, I think a lot of supporters, even me, were a bit like, oh God, maybe we have to slow down a bit here, because it just creates so much anger. And, one famous fund manager said, I think it was Ray Dalio, said the US was on the brink of civil war. I think that's excessive, but that's the sort of thing some very intelligent people are thinking. So he has pulled back. I think he's announced there'll be no more ICE agents going to Minnesota, or they'd only go if the local state asks them to go. So I think that's an admission that the aggression levels or the implementation was not right. But the principle is right, I think. If you have a law, well, it should be enforced. If it's not enforced, we'll just change the law and get rid of it. And that's where I think that is going to head. So Trump has stepped back on that one.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Look, we do need to see a de-escalation, and so we can't have any more people being shot because it's absolutely tragic.
The Grammy Awards now, where celebrities have just lined up to whack Donald Trump for sending immigration agents, ICE agents, to deport illegal immigrants.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say ICE out.
And naturally, a lone dissenter, a lone star who last week backed Donald Trump, Nicki Minaj, in her own time, not at an awards ceremony. She was singled out for mockery. There's a bit of group hate by the host, Trevor Noah. It's the kind of thing you tend to see when mean girls pick on a loner.
Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues.
Pack bullying, really. By the way, Trump watched that routine, by Noah, and is now threatening to sue him for claiming falsely that Trump went to the island of pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Wonderful. That should be spectacular news. But what was really rich in this ceremony were the celebrities cheering singer Billie Eilish for mouthing a ludicrous slogan you hear here as well.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
No one is illegal on stolen lands. There's a star with lots of security guards to chase, patrol their own boundaries, and who demands, this is in fact a demand for the end of America. If a country has no borders, it is no country. So yes, goodbye America. Joining me are Lisa Goddard, former foreign correspondent and founder of Adoni Media, and Michael Danby, former federal Labor politician and chairman of the Joint Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade. Lisa, that political tirade, why are music and film stars almost uniformly of the left and feel so entitled to preach their politics at fans who probably don't largely share their opinions and weren't there for the politics, but for the music or the film?
Yeah, Andrew, look, thankfully this year we weren't lectured about climate change or equal pay. There was no #MeToo. So it was all about immigration and about ICE. But you're right. They should have no right to stand up there on that stage and politicise it. They're there because they are making a fortune as singers. So get up there, thank your mum, thank your dad, thank God, and then move on. We don't need to be lectured to, because what happens is 15 million plus people would have seen the Grammys broadcast around the world. Then it goes on to social media. All that rhetoric does is then reinforce this hatred, the hatred of America, the hatred of our own countries. And look, if you talk about the, stolen land comment, so that means that you don't respect or don't have any acknowledgement of the laws, property law including. So if she goes home tonight and somebody moves into her house, what is she going to do? Take a trophy and move on. She has no right because, hey, she's on stolen land.